Okay, now we're live. Alright. Oh wait, that's shit.
Yeah, you're for sure
Oh,
fat.
shit,
No,
sorry.
cute girls are good, not but okay. Add me on Snap then.
Does he really know what he's
You know
doing?
you're fat. No, it's because
No idea
y'all
if he can
sound
handle
like
this shit.
narrow but it's
We
like
walked
being
in,
a girl
someone said it was an accident, she came or came, loose from the pinned underneath. We rushed out and locked the door behind us. He's going crazy.
No, he thinks the ship is doomed. His family's waiting for him on land. He
You're
just wants out.
definitely a girl.
Is there any way I can talk to him?
My phone's at the table.
Original, I laughed so much. Shut up,
Is this your
Jack.
number?
Yes.
Is there any way
Yeah,
through
you're
or
for
around
sure
this
fat.
door?
Girls
Possibly
are
in the
good, not but okay. Add me on Snap
That
then.
ship of yours was loaded with crates of
You know you're
counterfeit
No, it's
N95
because y'all
masks,
sound
responsible for at least 6 deaths, 7 if you count Lieutenant Cook.
It's not possible.
None of our employees would put people's lives at risk. These masks cost a fraction of the real thing. Someone made money.
People work for us, try to make a difference, not
Oh,
like
baked beans off an action.
You know as well as I do that sometimes good intentions break down.
Oh, nice.
So,
Don't my
who asked for
fucking
rain?
cup.
Didn't get it. Or complained about unfairness. Who threatened to quit over some injustice, but then didn't?
I'm telling you, our people aren't like that.
And I'm telling you, the evidence says otherwise. Your
Really
ship
cup.
is in trouble. There's 6 people on board. My agents are on board. So stop messing around and start cooperating.
Okay, I believe this conversation is over. We're going to consult with legal counsel. It was me. What? This is my fault.
What the fuck?
The masks, Lieutenant Cook, I'm responsible for all of it.
Doesn't work like that. I know you weren't on board that ship.
Fuck's sake.
I know you didn't kill Lieutenant Cook.
Still,
Okay.
we're done here. I'm calling counsel.
Alright, let's not swim, let's be family friendly.
Come on, pick up the phone.
Settings, keybinds, name, mouse 2, confirm. Yeah, no, that's easier.
I just want to talk to you.
So they're gonna get you home to your family faster.
I figure I got a better chance this way than waiting to die.
Right, well you can do it all right now.
Who's this shit?
Into an oil tanker?
4 more crew got sick last night.
Okey-dokey.
You don't want to be here any more than I do.
No, I don't. And even if by some miracle
Off the
you were
bunker.
able to steer
Instead,
this ship
you
to
might
land,
as well.
there'd be no port that would let us
It's
get
easier.
embarked.
I just
Welcome.
want to go home.
Dustin. What's your kid's name?
What's your name?
Sophia. It's my mother's name.
I want us all to get home.
Okay, cool. I'm live. Yes, I'm live. Live doing what? Playing video games. Look. I play video games. And if I get successful one day, I could make thousands, but I know it's not gonna happen. Getting successful isn't easy, but being successful isn't easy. You gotta make wrong decisions and right decisions. And I gotta learn. Alright, okay. Alright, cool. I'm trying to not release my... I want to hit something. For fuck's sake, hit me. Mum, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and I gotta try to get my anger away and a swearing habit away. How do you think that's gonna happen? It's not. Once you do it, you can't get out of it. Once you say it, you can't get out of it. It's not gonna happen. Everything I do is not gonna happen. Everything I do is gonna stay there. For as long as I want it to stay there. How the fuck did he kill me? Fucking crammed it. The hell are you watching? Oh fuck. The fuck are you watching?
So, court documents reveal the real reason for the divorce that has taken place between Kim and Kanye. Hey guys, it's Mark. I hope you guys are doing well today. Back again with another video. If you haven't subscribed, guys, click that button for daily and consistent content. Head over to my Instagram, my Patreon, my merch. Subscribe. Road to 200k, guys, and let's get straight into this quick video. So, court documents have, finally been published in relation to the divorce. I think they've been published quite quickly, considering they only announced the divorce like a week ago. And these are the details that have been listed.
I gotta calm down, which I know that's not gonna happen because
in the court documents obtained by
love to swear.
Kim cited
Just
the
kidding.
reconcilable
Sort of.
differences as the
Kind
reason
of.
why she was ending her marriage to Rap. The
Uh,
papers further confirmed that Kim 40 is seeking joint physical legal custody of their 4 children, North Saint, Chicago, and Palm.
I don't even know. I can't even hear
No,
shit.
it's Psalm. The P is silent. Okay. You're not gonna
When I used to do this upstairs, I'd have it
Kim
blasting
shocked
from
fans
here
around the world when she
wherever it
officially
is.
filed for divorce from Kanye on February 19th. Kim's rep confirmed that she filed for divorce from her husband on Friday, so it seemed that it
What
was
the
she that put things fine. The source close to the family told the outlet Kanye is fine with the joint custody arrangement because the couple is committed to co-parenting. And the pair are so far along with the legal proceedings that they are now in the stages of reaching a property settlement agreement. According to Forbes, TV personality turn mogul Kim is estimated to be worth $900 million. The source said that Kim had visited the idea of divorce so many times that she already had the paperwork drawn up and ready to go when she actually, filed. It has also been noted that Kim is basically saying
chip.
that she'd be ready to discuss this on
Please.
an open
I don't want any.
Ready to,
I don't want any.
I won't.
Kim wants to discuss her
Ain't
marriage
that
in an
bad.
interview with
Actually,
Oprah
pretty
Winfrey,
nice.
and the 40-year-old star has said that she feels she needs to face the public and be open and honest about what really happened between her and Kanye and address the rumor. She's biding her time and doesn't want to be overshadowed by the Meghan interview, but she has already been planning the interview and wants it to be a 2-part special. It will likely happen when all the loose ends of the divorce are tied up. No shade, no disrespect to Kim, but I don't think she can keep
The
overshadowing
fuck?
Meghan. I just don't think you can.
I forgot it's somebody who fucking runs this game all fucking day. No, just every single day they'll fucking get on this game and just play it. Some people I hate, it's like CSGO. This game is
So I
exactly
feel
like
like when
CSGO
she's
for
ready to do that with Harry, I do feel like that in itself will always be it, regardless of whoever else.
Gotta
is
calm
going to be
myself.
Oprah Winfrey.
because
I
if I
do
keep
feel
tapping,
like the Meghan stuff is going to be powerful because you can sit down and be emotional and have fun. However, I do think that Kim's related stuff is still going
welcome
to
to
be
the
an issue.
home.
People still want to know about it, but at the same time, I don't think people are going to be eager to see it speaking out. Reason being is because
fuck's
we've had
sake.
about
Stop swearing.
since January.
That's not gonna happen.
I'm telling you to stop it.
And if I stop it, I'll have to take my anger out on something else.
No, you won't, because there's no need to get angry at the game.
Oh, you're so stupid. I'm just not gonna lie, you're very stupid. What do you mean there's no reason to get angry at a game? Everybody's got angry at a game before. Even you've got angry at the game. You can't deny it.
No,
You can't
not
deny
like
it.
that.
then yes.
Yeah, but you have got angry at a game before, haven't you?
No.
Let me know your thoughts on guys in the short video. Subscribe.
Stop lying!
I don't play him when I get angry.
But of course, you have got angry once at a game. There's one thing nobody hasn't done. They've all got angry after they've played a game. And I'm not lying. If you haven't, you're fucking weird.
Stop swearing.
No. I thought they gave me StreamYard ads. Tapping keys.
Good Girl and Very Good Girl, the Eau de Parfum by Carolina Herrera.
FBI's worst nightmare finally caught, and the story behind it is amazing. The Federal Investigative Bureau is focused on one thing and one thing only: combating criminal activity. A domestic intelligence and security service of the United States. They take the law into their own hands, going underground into some of the darkest realms of the criminal world. But not all cases are easy to crack, especially when it comes to one Ukrainian hacker. He kept the FBI on their toes with twists and turns at every corner. If there's one thing we can all agree on, is that technology has changed the world we live in. Most of us are working in offices or at home off of our phones. 20 years ago, the idea of us having wireless headphones was something unheard of. And now, we have them. But today, we're pushing the boundaries with technology and changing the way we work and communicate with one another. But with the good comes the bad, as we all know. With the increase of technology, life has become a lot easier. However, along with the good comes the bad. The easier our lives become with technology, the more open we are to being attacked. Hackers exist worldwide, focusing on stealing our personal information, using it to sell on the dark web or commit fraud. The world isn't all
if I get angry, I just breathe in and out and punch a pillow.
The other side of the internet, the darker side.
I'm gonna need a pillow on my lap.
There's no one-size-fits-all description of a hacker. A hacker can be a woman or a man, short or tall, young or old.
Teaming, not even on the same team. That's very annoying. I'm gonna go grab a pillow so I can beat this shit up. Hello, pillow. You're gonna be the new thing I'm gonna beat up when I get angry.
Typically, hackers enter systems without authorization, using the information for their own benefit. That being said, there are hackers who focus on exposing the truth behind shady companies as well.
I'm kind of
Why do hackers do what they do? You may be thinking that these people have nothing better to do with their time than to cause mayhem online, but that's not necessarily true. Many of these hackers come from post-Soviet countries or Eastern Europe, are from low-income families, and don't have any job opportunities. So instead of sitting at home doing nothing, they try to make money the only way they know how, by hacking. It's not every day where you see the FBI having a run for their money. Usually, they're the ones who are chasing down criminals and catching them off guard. But this time, the tables turned, and the FBI were finding themselves chasing an unknown man. Who is this guy who is causing them so much trouble? More importantly, are all hackers as hard to pin down as this one? Or was he just an exception from the rest? It's time for the answer. Not all hackers are the same. You have your
I forgot, it's somebody who wastes their life on this game.
We're not talking about an amateur hacker here. We're talking about the best of the best.
Alright, let's join parkour.
This particular man
I know getting killed isn't going to help me. I think parkour will relieve my stress.
Hacking abilities unlike any other. It's time you were introduced to Max Popov, the hacker who tricked the FBI. That's quite a title to achieve when you think about it. Not many people can say they fooled the FBI. Max Popov grew up in the 1,000-year-old city of Zhytomyr, which is 2 hours west of Kiev. Living in the post-Soviet era world, Popov was attracted to computers and learned the basics of computers at school. Though he didn't learn on a MacBook, his first encounter with a computer was on a chunky Ukrainian-made IMB XT clone called a Poisk I. But it was when he was 15 years old that his father brought home a PC and a modem. And that's when Popov had his first taste of the internet. Like most kids in the 90s, he was drawn to the movie Hackers, as well as cyberpunk fiction. From these two things, he became inspired. He knew he was going to be a computer vigilante, and he was going to profit from it. He found fellow mercenaries on the internet from post-Soviet era countries, and there were lots of them. In the late 90s, the Soviet Union had an increase of intelligent computer programmers. The only problem was there lacked job opportunities. To make money, they turned to hack US e-commerce sites. But Popov wasn't as technical as many of his colleagues. However, his talent didn't lie in his technical skills. His talent was to manipulate and manage people, and his gift for learning languages. He started profiting from hacking by cashing out stolen credit card numbers and using his fluent English to phone in fraudulent orders to US retailers and cell phone companies. The business was going well for Popov until stores caught onto the scheme. When business goes down, you look for other opportunities, and that's what Popov did. He decided to test his luck at extortion. He and his team would hack into company computers and steal their customer data. And then Popov would call these companies offering his services as a security consultant to keep the data leak from going public. It's not a bad plan. He was able to hack into company data and then use the hack to make a profit. But all good things must come to an end. But it was only a matter of time until someone was going to catch on to what he was doing. In 2000, he and his team cracked an electronic payment provider, stealing the credit card information of 38,000 customers. It continued to other companies, with Popov then contacting the company and offering his services. His fee ranged from $50,000 to $500,000. But one company called the FBI and completely destroyed Popov's get-rich scheme. But then he started to contemplate a different idea. Popov was getting tired of his life in Zhytomyr, and he was receiving pressure from local thugs. So he thought about turning himself into American law enforcement. That way, he could escape from Ukraine and change his life. In his head, he believed by doing this, he would be a reformed hacker and become a security expert in the land of freedom and opportunity. But with this idea go as planned, well, he was going to have to give it a try to find out. When you're living in a rough environment outside of America, you see the US as an amazing place to live. Well, that's what everyone outside of America has been told. It's the land of opportunity. The stereotype of America is that all you have to do is go there and you'll make it. So Popov saw this chance as a way to start fresh and live the life he always dreamt of. A life of financial security and freedom. Something that he didn't believe he had now. When he arrived in America, he ended up sitting in jail, working as an informant for the FBI. If he refused to continue, he would go to prison. However, when he was on the phone with the FBI previously, they told him a different story. Naturally, reality shocked Popov as he realized he had been played. However, he wasn't going to let them get the last laugh. Popov had his own trick up his sleeve. After his arrest, Popov was placed under 24-hour surveillance in an FBI safe house, where he was instructed to talk to his Russian friends while the FBI recorded everything. However, Popov wasn't stupid. While he pretended to cooperate with the FBI, he was warning his friends that he'd been forced into a US government sting. But why didn't the FBI see any of this? Well, they didn't realize that Popov was going to be that gutsy. Why was the FBI so slow to realize that Popov was playing a game on them? Well, they didn't translate the logs right away. It took them months to get the logs translated, and by that time, it was too late. Angry, the FBI took Popov from the safe house and threw him into a small county jail in Virginia. While he was defiant, he was scared. Prosecutors were ready to indict him, and his hopes of having a better future were all crashing down on him. And while prosecutors wanted to slam the book at him, an up-and-coming agent, Hilbert, saw a potential to use Popov to fight cybercrime. Throughout the 90s, hacking was a recreational activity. However, in the 2000s, it had become a serious business, especially in Eastern Europe. Websites were being hacked,
Yeet.
emails were being loaded with spam, and credit card fraud was becoming all too common. Hilbert saw Popoff as his chance to have a serious shot at cracking online hacking. Hilbert was a high school history teacher, but decided to walk away from his career at the age of 29 and to pursue his childhood dream of becoming an FBI agent. When he was brought onto the team, he was
Whose
given the role
childhood
of a
dream is it to
cybercrime
become
agent.
an
In
FBI
his
agent?
first case, he linked a computer intrusion at a California company to a famous hacker in Russia's Ural Mountains. With his help alone, he managed to lure the suspect to Seattle and arrest him. If you put these two men beside each other, they were complete opposites. Hilbert was a straight-laced looking man who sported a kind of 1950s sitcom dad vibe. He had a firm gaze and crisply combed brown hair. In other words, at first glance, you thought these two men were from completely different worlds. But looks can be deceiving, as we have all learned at one point in our lives or another. These two men have more in common than you probably think. Though Hilbert didn't look like your typical hacker, looks can be deceiving. Of course, he was nowhere near to Popoff's level of skills, but he did have some prior experience. When Hilbert was a child, he grew up in a suburban neighborhood near San Diego, where he dabbled in amateur hacking himself. When he was hacking, he used the name Eidolon, which was an ancient term for ghost or spirit. The good thing was Hilbert understood the mentality of a hacker. Hilbert didn't want to let go of
Come on,
Popoff,
please don't be
so they
drunk
decided
tomorrow.
to make a deal.
What?
Don't be
Popoff
drunk
would
tomorrow.
serve his time
Why?
while working off his charges by going
Because-
undercover for the FBI. But this
I
time,
said so.
Popoff wouldn't have to set up his friends.
Yeah.
Instead, his targets were people he had no connection with. To make Popoff feel better about the situation, Hilbert called his an intelligence gathering mission, giving Popoff the impression he was like James Bond. Popoff signed the plea deal and accepted the government's offer. It was time to get to work. If there's one thing Popoff couldn't do, it was hiding his skills. He loved to show off his abilities. Moments after he landed in California, he was playing around with the legal research computer at the Santa Ana Jail Law Library. He figured out that the machine was connected to the jail computer network, and in a couple of seconds, he was able to have
Okay, I don't want to swear because I'll probably get taken
around
down.
the entire facility. The jail staff had to even put him on lockdown. Popoff was brought to Hilbert for his first day at work. Popoff was led to a small room, and inside was a desk, table, and Windows machines. Handcuffed to the computer table, Popoff had his first mission, Operation Ant City. With a new identity, he began to connect to the underground chat world as he portrayed himself as a hotshot Ukrainian scanner that has addition for stolen credit cards. His first target was a mysterious man who went by the name of Script. After weeks of chatting with Script, Popoff negotiated a deal and offered to buy $400 worth of credit card numbers. Script agreed and sent him the information.
And now if I want to
Script,
rage, I can
it was
just
a
hit the
huge
back of my
mistake.
chair.
By sending contraband to Popoff in California, Script committed a federal crime in U.S. jurisdiction. This evidence would help Hilbert and persuade the Ukrainian police
Wait,
to
how is
arrest
this
Script. Though it
surfing?
worked, Script was only jailed for 6 months before being released. Hilbert had developed a unique strategy. The idea was to spread a little money around so Popoff could make contact. And while they had the card numbers, Hilbert would partner with credit card
This is
companies to
not even
identify the
surfing.
source of the breach. Popoff is a natural professional and worked his way down.
Oh,
Striking
football
deals and
game,
collecting crucial intelligence for Hilbert. They were an
surf.
amazing team, and Hilbert wanted to thank him. However, he knew his acts of kindness were limited. Popoff was living his days working 10 hours, while at night he would return back to his jail
I didn't
cell.
even throw up.
It wasn't the best
I
experience.
just have a stomachache
But on
because of that.
Thanksgiving, Hilbert decided to
Oh,
surprise
it was
Popoff.
nice.
When Popoff arrived for work, he found a projector set up,
But I
facing the
still
wall.
want to
Hilbert turned it
say...
on